Hi and welcome to Simple as That. Today we are sewing. It's fairly easy sewing. We have 4 little projects lined up. Well, 3 sewing and 1 little extra one thrown in there for you. And so I'm Farron.
I'm Andrea.
And today we're going to sew for you. So let's get started.
Our first project is something that I've always wanted to do, and I finally broke down. We were looking for projects for our show, and I said, I have some old sweaters that I just can't wear anymore. They're wool, and I've just gotten to the point where I can't wear them anymore, and they're lovely. And so I decided I had saw some Pinterests of some different sweater pillows. So I said, let's make some sweater pillows. So this pillow that is finished is one that we had done earlier this week. And what we did is we took one of my old sweaters and we figured out about what size of pillow form that we would need, and we went ahead and bought one for this one. But you could even use an old pillow that you find at a thrift store, and you could even go to a thrift store or a garage sale and find some sweaters that you want to do this with. And buy pillow forms out as well, because people sometimes get tired of their pillows that they have and they go out and buy new ones. Well, this is just a way to repurpose something that was old.
Exactly.
And
so don't sew, but these projects are fairly easy, and Andrea was able to walk me through them. So that's what she's going to do here today.
I did a little research and I found out that there are some tricks to making them look really nice and tailored and keeping their points. So one of the things that one blogger had recommended is you buy fusible interfacing, and you can buy that at Hobby Lobby or Walmart, or most craft stores carry it. And what it is it's kind of a felt-like fabric, and then on the back side it has little knots or little dots, and it's adhesive. And so you're going to take and buy a couple. I would say if you're going to do a few pillows, you probably want to buy a yard or 2 of it. That way you can have it on hand, because you may have different sizes. But it comes just like you would buy fabric, that it comes on a bolt.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
So you just ask, what's it called?
Fusible interfacing.
Okay.
And it's actually what's inside of, like the collar of a shirt has fusible interfacing inside of it. A lot of times a button shirt will have fusible interfacing inside that as well. So it's used in all kinds of different sewing. Quilters can use it sometimes to help give a certain thing it gives more body and more structure to a garment, and that's what it does.
Helps it keep its form and shape.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want for our sweater pillow, because a sweater is very flowy, and if it's very loosely knit together like this one, you can almost see skin through it. And so you can actually find interfacing like this that's black or white. Usually it comes only in those 2 colors. So if you wanted it to be black, you could buy black fusible interfacing.
Yeah, so that way, black would probably work better with this.
Yeah.
Because it's so see-through.
Yeah, it is.
We used the white on this. You can't tell. It's very tightly knit.
Yeah, and you can't see the white at all. So, but it does give it a nice, crisp, tailored look. So you'll take your sweater, and we'll just kind of use this gray sweater here, and you'll want to figure out what kind of form that you'll want. And we figured this sweater would actually fit about this size. And so you would measure out, and you would cut a square out of your sweater. And once you've got that done, you'll have a square, and then you'll also cut to the exact same size the fusible interfacing. And once you have that cut, you'll put those 2 pieces together, and you'll take your iron and you will stamp. And when you iron fusible interfacing on anything, you don't want to move the iron around, but put firm pressure directly down for at least 10 seconds at each spot. And you'll just lift and move it and push down, lift and move it and push down. And then once you've covered the whole thing, you want to make sure that it really sticks down on the whole area. And then when you're done both sides, the fronts and the backs, then you'll put them together and sew them.
So just like a pillow.
Yeah.
So that's the easy part. I mean, really, I watched Andrea do this, and I took some video that you're seeing here, and it took her all about 3 minutes to make this, so.
It was really fast.
Very easy.
It was. I was like, why haven't I done this already? Because I've had the sweater in my closet just sitting there for a few years and not wearing it. So now I can have it out at the holidays, and it was a gift that was given to me, and so it was kind of special to me. I didn't just want to give it away or throw it away. So now still is with me, and I don't have to worry about my body itching.
There you go. And if you wanted to make that a pillow cover so that you could just switch out your cover, you could definitely do that as well.
Right. You would just want to put a zipper in one side, but we really wanted to keep this simple. Another thing you could do is, the next part we're going to show is how you could easily cover this up for a different time of year. So you could have your sweater pillow still sitting on your couch, but it was camouflaged by another place. And so we're going to go right over into that.
Let's do it. I'm excited because this is the part I can do because I can't sew. This is a no-sew. So I guess our title is a little deceiving because they're sewing
But we're still using fabric, and you still have to go to the sewing section of the craft store to buy it. So
I picked out this pretty knit fabric. It's sort of thick. You can use any type of fabric for this project.
We were worried. We didn't know. All the tutorials that we had seen of this was of like a cotton broadcloth or something stiff. But we chose this knit, and it turned out really neat.
So we're basically going to cover this, and it's pretty easy steps. And then we're going to knot it. And so you just basically, it's a pretty way to wrap the pillow with fabric.
Okay, so you can imagine this is a new pillow form, but when you purchase your fabric, you want to make sure that you have enough that it's almost 3 pillows wide to each corner. And so we know that our fabric is definitely wide enough. And then you want your point to be your straight edge here, and then the point to be up and the point to be down. So you can kind of see this is a big piece of fabric.
Sort of like a diamond, how we have it laid out here.
Yep, and put it right in the middle of the diamond. And then first thing you'll do is fold over the bottom.
So you make sort of a triangle here.
And then you'll fold it over.
Keep folding.
And then you're going to do the same thing to the top.
Triangle here. And then you keep folding it up.
Okay, and then you'll, on each end that you have left out, you want those to kind of come to a point. So
you kind of tidy them up here so that you don't have like a lot of bulk. And that way they'll kind of knot a little bit better.
Yep. Okay, and then you fold it in. And then go right over left, and we're going to just create a square knot. So Farron, if you want to tie it up.
Okay. This is the part I had to learn. So walk me through it, Andrea.
Right over left, and then pull through. And then you'll take the left and over right. And pull, come up from the bottom. There you go. And then you have kind of this twisted knot.
So if you had this is a very thick fabric, so I mean you could pull it up and do a knot, but it's going to be a big lump right here. So we kind of flatten the knot out, sort of, and it looks sort of like a twist then. So then you have these, which if you wanted to, you could leave them hanging out, but you can then wrap them underneath here
and just hide them.
So
then you have a really cool
ta-da
pillow for your couch.
No sewing involved.
And no sewing involved, and it quickly transforms, a pillow that you may have hated into something really great. So
yes. So we have another project. We're going to demo kitchen towels for you, and let's go ahead and get those over here and bring them out.
Okay.
This is a sewing project. However, it's straight lines and not too complicated.
Not too complicated at all. What we did is we went and just bought some inexpensive towels, hand towels at Walmart, and we knew we wanted the accent fabrics on all of them to be black and white, and it was really lucky when we went to Hobby Lobby, we found some fat quarters. Fat quarters are what people purchase who like to quilt. They are a certain measurement of fabric in each, and then there's usually 5 or 6, sometimes only 4 different
fabrics,
different patterns in the set. And they had black and white. So what we did is we purchased a couple of those fat quarters because we knew that they would be just about the right amount for our towel project.
Yes. And Andrea just found this on Pinterest and thought, I really like these, I want to make them.
Yeah.
And so we just went and found the fabrics that we liked. We had a little trouble finding the kitchen towels, but you know what? We ended up going to Walmart and getting bath towel, hand towels instead. And they're going to work exactly the same.
Yes. So this, I have black with white and white with black in a fun pattern. And then for this one, we chose a really bold orange color because it would be really fun to bring this one out during the fall. And it's really rich and vibrant, so that just kind of makes you happy when you look at it. And it's really simple. The fat quarters are really, they come, this is how big it is. And so what you do then is you take and measure the length of it, and then you'll cut it in half, and you'll use half of the fabric for the top and half of the fabric for the bottom. So you can see here.
So here's one that's already done.
Yep, and then it has a top and a bottom. Now one thing that we did do in Farron, I did not pre-wash the white one because I didn't worry about the colors really fading or bleeding on that one. But the bright colors, I would really recommend washing them and maybe using some vinegar with that as well to just make sure that the colors are sealed. I don't think there'd be a lot of bleeding, but where we're using black and white fabric, we don't want it to turn orange and black. So
and seal all over. Yeah, that would not be cool.
No.
You made a pretty towel and then it would be all ruined. So
yeah,
we thought these two could be gift ideas, or you just make a set and have them interchanged throughout the holiday seasons or what have you. So,
but they were quick projects too. That's another thing. I mean, if you just have a few minutes, it really took no time at all to put it together. So
all of these very quick. Can use them throughout any season. We're coming up on the holiday season, but you can do these any time of year. Sewing, no sewing. So stay with us. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to demo just one other quick, easy sewing project that we made. And then also we have we're preparing herbs. And we're going to do a little follow-up segment on the herbs that we planted last time. So stay with us and we'll be right back.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associates to learn more.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Let us shop for you. Contact Rogers & Associates to learn more. Restaurants, gyms, salons, libraries, and more. Nex-Tech has over 100 free Wi-Fi hotspots to keep you connected.
Dignity, respect, professionalism, commitment, and fairness are the 5 core values you can expect from All Faiths Funeral Chapel in Smith Center. At All Faiths Funeral Chapel, they consider it an honor to serve you and your family and their community. Built in 2010, their large state-of-the-art facility includes dining and reception hall to accommodate large funeral dinners, even anniversaries and weddings. They also sell customized monuments and offer pre-arranged services. All Faiths Funeral Chapel in Smith Center.
Hi and welcome back. We are sewing today and no sewing, plus a little bit of herbs. So in our first segment, we made kitchen towels and we also went over a couple different ways to do pillows. Now we have a fun little project and they're quilted coasters.
Yes, and we just machine quilted them. We didn't hand quilt them, and we again found some fun fat quarters at Hobby Lobby that were black and white, which is kind of our theme. And so we purchased those fat quarters and then we cut them down into 5-inch squares. And then once we got the squares done, we also purchased this product. It's called Warm Blend, and it is a thin, kind of like a quilting layer, batting, if you will. And we wanted to make our coasters a little bit thicker, and so we cut those down. And these are 4.5 inches, so that there was a little window around the outside. And so then what we did is we took the two pieces and we put the wrong sides together, and then we put the batting layer and we sewed all the way around the edges, all the way around 3 edges, and left one edge open. And we turned it right side out and then folded that edge in, and then we top stitched around the outside edge. And then we have 2 different designs here. We have one that kind of goes around and around, and we just sewed and quilted on the outside.
Yes. And then this one just has lines, and so she had to find the center line. Again, I did not sew these, Andrea did. But she just did diagonal lines here, so you can sort of see the difference in going around the edges and then just having the diagonal lines. So this project didn't take you very long at all.
No, it didn't. In fact, what we did was we cut all the fabric up first. Then we cut the batting up second. Then all we had to do was create an assembly line and just go one after the other. And then once they were all sewed together, then we went back and did the top stitching, and didn't take any time at all, maybe 30 minutes for all of it. So really, a really easy project.
Yeah.
But what it does is make a real personal gift for a friend.
Yeah.
Make something really personal for your home. If you appreciate things that are handmade, it makes things more personal and on an intimate level.
So there's coasters for your living room or to give away, and that's going to wrap up our sewing projects, but we still have one more that we're going to tie in here. So I'm going to clear this off, and Andrea's going to bring in a little bit more product here.
Okay, do you guys remember on our last episode, we had done an herb tower where we had 3 different pots and we planted different herbs in each layer. Well, now those herbs are ready to harvest. And so many times you grow herbs and you don't even really know what to do with them. You want to enjoy them the whole year through, but of course winter is coming, and in Kansas we get really hard freezes, so some of the softer herbs can't survive outside, and the pots may be too heavy or not able to be relocated to a warmer area or a sunroom, and so you lose all of those lovely flavors that you have been enjoying for weeks. Yeah. So what we're going to show you is some different ways to hold on to those flavors throughout the year. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to blend rosemary, thyme, and sage together. And we're going to freeze that in olive oil. So what I'm going to do right now, Farron, is we have already clipped all of our herbs and we have washed them. And so we have rosemary here. And
when did you say was the best time to clip these?
Okay, so obviously the best herbs are ones that are just clipped and you've used them right away. But I was reading and they said that the best time is late morning after the sun has shined on them, because they release their oils, and so they're the most fragrant. So
I would say too, that's true too when I've baked or clipped them in the morning. They look the prettiest then.
Yeah, they haven't been wilted away by the day's weariness of the sun. And in Kansas, we get some pretty intense heat. And so they've kind of just cooled off in the night, and they're just getting, I guess, their morning glory on. So what we want to do is, rosemary has a woody stem, and you don't want to put that in the blender. So we're going to strip the rosemary off and discard the stems. And then when you're doing this, you just can smell the rosemary. It smells really, really good.
Yes.
And your fingers even get kind of a tackiness or stickiness from the rosemary oil. And we're gonna put into this mixture
sage and thyme, and that's just kind of a blend that goes well together for cooking.
It is. There's a special French name for it, but I can't remember it right now.
We did so much research when doing these.
Because we wanted to know what was the best way, and there's several ways to do this. This is one of them that I think really works well. So then these, again, you don't want the stems, you just want the leaves. So
we don't have to do all of this here, but
just get the leaves in there.
and there's some thyme.
Okay. And thyme it takes the most of, because the leaves are the tiniest. And so you need the most of thyme. I don't think, everyone needs more thyme, don't we? We all need more thyme. Isn't that funny how that works? So yeah, but the leaves are itty bitty. They're almost, okay, that's oregano. So let's set that aside, because we don't want to put that in there.
We're not putting that in this one.
Yeah, so with this,
all right.
We have all of this that we need to get in there. But again, they have woody stems, and these all three are called hard herbs. And they're hardier in a lot of climates. Your rosemary, your thyme, and sage will survive the winter. And especially if you plant them on the south side of your house where they get a lot of sunlight, even during the winter time, they'll actually, the soil there may not freeze completely and hard, and so those plants can survive.
That's quite a bit. What do you think?
Maybe just
a little bit more?
Yeah.
This is a little bit messy.
It is a lot messy, actually.
But it does smell lovely.
Yeah. All right. And we've got lots. I think that, let's try for that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to process this until it's pretty fine.
A little bit more?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a food processor, you could chop these, but this is so much easier.
Yeah, you wanted to get it fairly fine, and because what we're going to do then with this is we're going to take, this is a silicone ice cube tray, and what we want to do is, this is one that's already been frozen, but I did this earlier. We take this mixture and we use just a little, this is a half a tablespoon, and we're going to put a half a tablespoon in each hole.
And then you just fill it with olive oil?
Yep, just fill it with olive oil. So if you want to grab that, Farron. And it just smells amazing. But then you will have these, you can pop them out of the silicone once they're frozen and store them in the freezer in a Ziploc type bag.
Cool.
And then when you want to make a soup or this mixture is really good in bread. If you want to make
put them in a crock
bread
pot with some sort of meat or whatever. So I will put this in. You just want to talk about the soft herbs here real quick?
Okay, so here we have 2 soft herbs, and then also I have some Oregano, and oregano is actually considered a hard herb because it has a woodier stem. So that's kind of, I think, from what I've read, is kind of the way that they vary. Mint is a very hardy herb. It spreads and it can be invasive in your garden. And so a lot of people will plant it in a pot and then submerge the pot in the ground and bury the pot in the ground because they can spread and literally become a terrible weed. So, but it is not a hard, it's not a herb that you want to freeze necessarily. So that can be difficult, but you can freeze mint. They just recommend, you can dry it as well, but their flavors change when you do, especially soft herbs. And same with basil. Fresh is always better. You can freeze it, and they recommend just putting it in a Ziploc bag and pressing all of the air out and putting it in the freezer. And then that will be basically just like drying it. And you can do that to both mint and basil. And other herbs as well.
That are soft. So,
that are soft.
Yeah, so those are some ways. We just wanted to follow up with that herb tower, tell you how our growing season went, show you some ways that you can incorporate that. You can also, if you wanted to blend them with salt or sugar, then they would take on the flavor of that, that herb as well. So we're going to have these on our Pinterest page. So check that out for other tips as well, and to learn how to do these sewing projects. And we're going to see you next time on Simple as That.